Hi, it's Emilio again, and this is week 2. Okay, sorry I'm a little bit late. I was gonna make a video yesterday, but 2 nights ago I went out drinking with the Disney buddies, and I got pretty drunk. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty crazy. I was at the point where I couldn't sober up when we went to Denny's later, and anyway, that's my excuse for having this video late. I know I only have like 4 viewers, but whatever. Anyway, so this past week has been pretty fairly eventful. There's a few things I want to talk about in this video. First thing is something that was gonna happen in my vlog, whether I wanted it to or not. It's specifically friend zoning. I know I kind of touched on it last week, but this time I really got some words about the friend zone. Okay, and the second thing is something that people generally think that they have an understanding of it until the situation presents itself, and then the next day you're like, oh crap, I really should know this. And it's about personal limits, like on pretty much everything. Like well, I have a story for that. I'll get to that later, okay? But limits is something I want to talk about. And then the last thing is, maybe I'll tell a story of what happened when I went out with my 21st birthday buddies, or my Disney buddies, because for my 21st birthday, because as much as like I try to remember, it's really great to hear from, like just to hear about what happened, because it doesn't really sound like me in hindsight. Anyway, so friend zoning. First thing I want to talk about, right? Okay. Now, unless you're a very, very lucky individual or a super duper like A-list attractive person where like everybody immediately puts you in this potential love interest zone, or you just haven't gotten around to understanding it. Friend zoning is basically this. Friend zone is just one of many mental places where people sort everybody they know, right? Like you could when you meet someone, you put them in the friend zone, potential love interest, acquaintance, probably not going to meet this person again, douchebag, tool, family, friend, whatever, right? That's only 9, but I'll come up with more as I go on. Anyway, friend zoning, as in the verb, not the actual like mental not imaginary mental place, is when someone, like, let's say I met a girl and this has happened to me before. So I met a girl that I thought she was really pretty, so I put her in the potential love interest zone, right? And then she is like okay with me, so she puts me in the friend zone, right? And then now people don't straight up, hi, you're my friend, I friend zoned you. People don't generally do that. So what happened is that the guy gets to know the girl, and then they're like, oh, we should go out, and they're like, sorry, I'd really rather you be friends. That is friend zoning, okay? And here's the thing I've learned in the past is that people generally consider the friend zone, or people generally consider the person doing the friend zoning as the bad guy, and the other person to be the victim. Now, here's the thing that I learned about friend zone in the past week, okay? It's not a bad place. It's not. People always talk about it. It's like it's some kind of lifeless hell where you go when you're unlovable and nobody likes you. No, that's not true, because check it out. That person wanted to be your friend, okay? This is what basically that I learned about it, is that when you're somebody's friend, that means that they want to straight up be your friend. They want to be they want to like this, like, instead of a boyfriend girlfriend type relationship, which is vulnerable to be broken up with at some point. Your friends are there forever, okay? Like how often do you hear a boyfriend girlfriend break up versus a friend break up? Yes, they happen, but they don't happen nearly as often. So what I learned about getting friend zoned is that it's basically, oh, it's not exactly what I planned, but it worked out. So basically what I'm saying, guys, is that, like, I'll get to the story about this later. I think it falls into limits. I just wanted to specifically touch upon this, but friend zoning is basically, it's not a bad place. It's just more common, because like okay, honestly, I think I'm at the point where I'm rambling now, and I should really get back on topic. But anyway, yes. Point is this: friend zoning, not bad. I know I kind of touched upon this last week with the whole "don't be bitter" thing, but yeah, like friend zoning, it's not a bad place. Like if you get friend zoned, don't cry about it. Get up, grow up, get over it, and just hang out with your friend. You know, because at the end of the day, when you do meet somebody that would want to go out with you, and I hear this a lot. When you do meet someone that'll go out with you, you'll have that person and your friend, which is clearly a better situation than, like, cause like if you did end up going with that person and ended up breaking up, then you don't even have to be friends with them. That's pretty bad. Anyway, so second thing I actually feel like I have more to talk about and not ramble as much is limits, okay? Now, everyone hears this from their parents, unless your parents are just like, maybe it's just my parents, okay? But what I heard a lot growing up from them is know your limits. And it sounds like something like, oh yeah, I know, I'm not gonna go like drink too much, I'm not gonna go do this stupid thing, and like, here, alright, let's start this back up. Let's back this up, alright? So first lesson that I learned growing up is know your limits. Second thing is, alright, so story. Last weekend I went to San Diego. Okay, this will tie into the first topic, okay, I promise. Last weekend I went to San Diego for a video game tournament. Okay, it was Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which is a fantastic game. Oh my god, I could talk forever about Smash Brothers. I love Smash Brothers. Okay, it's great. Anyway, so we were playing Smash Brothers, and I went with me and my friend Andy. Andy's pretty chill. He plays Marth. He kind of plays Falco, but he played Marth at the tournament, so he's gonna be a Marth main for today. And I played Pokemon Trainer. Okay, well, clearly, like, come on, I'm the Pokemon guy. What's it called? So we were at the tournament, right? And we feel like we got to San Diego Friday night, and we feel like we feel pretty confident. We play we're staying at our friend Emily's place. We play against her friends who are pretty good. But generally, me and Andy come out on top. We're not cocky, but we know, like, all right, we feel pretty good. So we knew like our limit was pretty high. Okay, so we go sign up for the tournament, which, completely different note, was terribly run. Oh my god, I cannot explain how terrible not terrible, but like just kind of regular bad how the TOs were. Like, they weren't bad people, they just didn't know how to run a tournament. It's like they're running this for like their resume or something. They weren't actually into it or worried about running a good tournament. Anyway, so we played and get our asses handed to us. Like, there's a point Andy even got 3-stocked. Andy at least won a match. I didn't even win any of my matches. It was pretty bad. And basically, lesson, and then, well, I'll get to the lesson because, like, there's another part of this weekend that highlighted the whole limits theme, is that I got our asses handed to us. Like, there's like in doubles, oh my god. Okay, so team attack is on, right? This means when you hit each other, it does damage. Unlike when you just hang out with friends, you normally turn that off because it makes the game less fun. Although in tournament setting, it adds more skill. Anyway, so me and Andy were playing, and our game plan was basically this: we don't hit each other. Okay, that was the whole game plan. Then we meet this other team that's a Pokemon Trainer and a Lucas player. Pokemon Trainer, god, that guy was so good. His name was Mata, and not that he'll ever watch this, but like if you ever do, I would love to play that guy again. That guy was like my undeclared rival. God, he was so good. Anyway, so their combos were so good. They weren't just like about let's not hit each other. They're like let's hit each other when the time is right. Like Squirtle has this attack that pushes characters away, and generally it's useless, but he used it on his teammate, pushed Lucas across the stage, hit me and Andy, double kill with Lucas, and I'm like, what the frick? How did we not think about that? How did we not think, like, they're just really good. Then their other combo was like, their Lucas player was clearly better than their Pokemon Trainer. Not that the Pokemon Trainer was bad, but their Lucas player was just really fucking good. So, whenever Lucas would get damaged, he's like at the high 100% for his first life. He would do his down B, he was like heal shit, and then Charizard would use a Fire Breath and heal Lucas, and we're like, what the hell? That doesn't even seem fair, you know what I mean? But anyway, like, me and Andy thought we were good, and we really weren't. We ended up dropping the tournament because we wanted to go eat. Like, it was just, like, okay, granted we didn't eat at all that day, so we were pretty hungry, but oh my god, it was pretty bad. Like, I've never felt less nerdy in my entire life. And you took a look around my room. I'm pretty nerdy, okay? Except for like maybe this. Everybody has a panoramic picture of their high school, but like, I'm pretty nerdy, okay? I've never felt like I have a fucking like Charizard hoodie here, and an Iron Man hoodie. Anyway, so I've never felt less nerdy in my entire life because of how good these people were. I was like, wow, I cannot believe that I am this bad at this video game. Granted, that made me feel great because I'm like, oh, I must have a life then, because I always make jokes, oh, I don't have a life because I play video games so much. But I didn't. So anyway, later that weekend, the tournament was a 2-day thing. Second day, if you got eliminated, it was just to hang out, play games and stuff. And like, me and Andy were so Smash Brothers out that day. We were like, no, I do not want to go back. Like, we kind of wanted to watch the StarCraft finals because it's just like, come on, that's like pretty much a sport. But we ended up not. We ended up hanging out with Emily and her other friend, who I will not name because of the rest of the story, and I don't like want to, personal shit, right? Anyway, so we're hanging out with Emily and her friend, right? Me, Andy, Emily, and her friend. We go to lunch and we go to a mall to find stuff, and like, she's really cool. Oh my god, she's one of the, like, I get excited when girls I meet like the same stuff I do. Like, oh my god, your backpack is so cool, because my backpack's pretty cool. But that happens kind of a lot, or they're like, oh my god, I love your jacket, right? I'm like, oh cool, we have common interests. I like that. Now, the thing that I really like, something that doesn't happen very often that I love about girls girls I meet, is the ability to, like, just love life. Like, if you know me in person, you know that I love getting, what's it called? I love getting excited about really stupid stuff. Like, or really, like, whatever things. Because, you know what? I'm a nerd. Nerds like life, okay? Like, we just like stuff, period. And this girl, like, would get excited about the stuff at, like, a fucking toy store that I got excited about. Like, what was it? There was I'm trying to think of the non-girly item. She loves board games. Oh my god, that is so cool, because none of my friends do, and I love playing board games with people. I have no one to play with. That's a completely different thing. But like, I love how she would get excited about the little things, which means that, like, if I were to date her, we could enjoy so much stuff together, and I don't have to feel like I'm getting overexcited about things, because that happens to me a lot. When I get excited about shit, I'm like, guys, how cool is this fucking pen, right? It's, do I have anything like that I could have here? Okay, not really, but, like, okay, that was weird, but yes, like, she was so awesome. So I told Emily that day, I was like, Emily, before I leave, I'm going to ask out your friend. And she's like, okay, cool, good luck with that. Super supportive. But anyways, so we hung out that day, and then we're like, oh, maybe you can hang out later tonight, because she had to go hang out with her sister who was visiting, which is terrible timing, by the way. But anyway, so we did that. We went out, and then we dropped her off so that she could hang out with her sister, maybe to hang out with us later. Then, so we were hanging out with Emily and her other friends that night, and it turns out that other girl I was totally crushing on her, wasn't able to show up, so like, oh, I was sad. So we hung out, played video games, drank a little bit, right? And then I feel like in this vlog I get drunk a lot, which is not the case. Okay, not the case. It's only because I just recently turned 20. Anyway, so I get drunk and I'm like, guys, should I call her? And they're like, do whatever, because everyone was watching the StarCraft finals, which were on live at that time, and I'm like, damn. Okay, well, anyway, so ends up I did call her, and I asked her out, and then she said, she was actually really nice about it. I've gotten rejected a lot of times, and this is one of the nicer ways I've gotten rejected. But and the story, like, she said no, so I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, check it out. If you ever change your mind and I'm back in San Diego, we can go out sometime. But thank you for being understanding, I guess. That's me trying to remember the phone call. I was a little bit tipsy, so I don't know, but yeah. So I asked her out. Anyway, how this relates back to limits is, know when, like, okay, for the video game thing, like, it was bad for us to not understand our limits, because then since we thought that we were way better, we thought our limit was way up here, but it was really, like, down here, right? It's good to understand those things so you know what you're getting into, and you don't feel all disappointed. Like, we were like, oh, we thought we were good, it was just use a strange, like, it was disappointing, to say the least, that we couldn't even, like I couldn't even win one match. So it was like, if I knew that I wasn't as good, I still would have played, but it would have been more enjoyable, you know what I mean? Like, it was still a lot of fun, because, like, oh my god, watching Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Finals, a game that I don't even play, on a fucking big screen with a crowd, that was awesome. But anyway, yeah, like, know your limits, because then, like, when it comes back to the other thing with a friend of Emily, almost said her name, but I didn't, because I'm smart like that. when it comes to things like that, like, it's good to know my limits of where I can be as a, like, of, fuck, like, okay, pause from here, and let me recuperate my thoughts. Well, yeah, it's good to know your limits as a person with them, because otherwise I would have been back to the not don't be bitter thing. I would have been really complaining about it or whatever, or I would have lashed out, which is something that would have hurt my chances with her in the long run. I really don't think I have much of a chance anymore, but it would have been like, basically the thing about limits is that know them, because when it comes up, right, like I knew, like, I feel like I had more experience with the whole getting rejected thing than I did with the video game thing, which is really sad to think about it like that. But it was something that I feel like if I knew, like, it's good that I knew my limit on how, because, oh, I've got it, okay. So, I know how in the past I've gotten rejected, and I know how bad I can react to that. I knew my limit for rejecting that was, like, it was really emo. I have an emo level, like, okay, this is, I'm having a hard time angling my hand. But, I knew my limit level was way, way farther than it, like, I could have been really bad. So I knew to stop myself before I got there. I guess that's how it finally relates back to knowing your limits, because it's a good thing, because if I didn't know when to stop, I would have lashed out. It would have been really bad. It would have been a bigger piece of drama than what it actually was, which is actually not that much. The drama wasn't too bad there. But yeah, so that's, oh, and then the other thing, when I went out drinking with my friends on Wednesday night, that was pretty crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was crazy. Like, fun fact, I ended up, like, okay, I put it in my wall already, but because that's the first thing that's ever happened. I woke up the next day and I found a girl's phone number in my pocket. I was like, damn, Junkie Emilio's got game, right? I should really do one of these videos. That would be pretty entertaining. Actually, that would be bad. That would be very bad. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I learned this week about limits and stuff, and knowing them is good. Knowing when you should stop. No, because, like, there was a point where I almost threw up on Wednesday night. I could feel it. Like, you know that point when you're like, oh, I'm going to throw up soon? Hold it in and just stop doing everything. Like, I don't know if that's a real, like, doctor recommended plan when you don't want to throw up, but it worked well for me. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I learned this week. I know really wasn't a lot. It was a lot of me just rambling about stuff. But I feel like if I go back and watch this in the future, I'll remember what I was supposed to be learning here. But yeah, so I guess that was week 2, fairly uneventful. It was pretty awesome when it was happening, but now I should really not drink that much. Yeah, anyway, so I guess I'll see you guys next week on week 3.